Robot here with AI that was in the news for October 19th through the 25th. So this is an article that came out this morning in the Los Angeles Times about some DDT that was discovered off the coast of Los Angeles near Catalina that has been being dumped in the ocean or was dumped around World War II and apparently has been leaking into the ocean ever since. They said they found about 500,000 barrels. When they were being dumped into the ocean, they wouldn't sink to the bottom. So when they were dumping the barrels into the ocean, they would puncture the barrels to get them to sink to the bottom, which obviously means that DDT has been leaking into the ocean off the coast of Los Angeles for years. The way, I'm sure we all know the way rain works, condensation, evaporation, which means DDT has been raining down on Los Angeles for years. Not good news. The good news is that they discovered this with robots. So I'm going to play this for you pretty quickly, and I'll put a link to the full article down below. All right, so you guys get the idea. So bad news, chemicals in the ocean. Good news, robots discovered it. All right, so the next one in the news is GANsky, or GANsky, if you want to call it GANs. A general adversarial network has been creating Banksy-like artwork, which I thought was kind of fun. I always try to go over at least one piece of artwork that's GAN related per week, and I thought this was a fun one. I have another one later on in the video. Also later in the video, we're going to talk about cryptocurrency. I've been trying to include one article about crypto every week. I'm going to start putting it at the end every week. And the reason for that is because I do feel that the blockchain is interwoven with AI, and I'll do a whole video on that in the future. So artificial intelligence and the antitrust case against Google. So on Tuesday of this week, the DOJ, Department of Justice, filed a lawsuit against Google on Tuesday, basically saying they've become the gatekeepers of the internet. What's kind of ironic about this is that the DOJ is doing a suit against Google that is mirroring the same suit that Google did against Microsoft years ago. And one of their claims is that they're basically doing the same playbook that Microsoft did for what Google sued Microsoft for. So that lawsuit is now happening, and this article also talks about how it will probably take many, many, many years to settle out, but that was kind of big news. So Tesla has launched their full self-driving beta. It's a little bit misleading because you do still have to have a human at the wheel. You can't like sit in the back seat and play video games or hang out with your friends while the car's driving for you. One thing I thought was kind of interesting is here's a video of somebody using it, and you can see the neural networks, what they're seeing while he's driving. So I'm just going to play a quick clip. You got the idea. That was pretty cool. So safety regulators are saying they're keeping an eye on it. They're going to let it move forward, but if there are a lot of accidents, obviously they'll shut it down. This one I thought was a lot of fun. This is the GPT-3 generator has basically created the script for a film that some college students put together. And I thought they did a great job. I think, well, they did a great job. I guess the GPT-3 did a great job. So the first few seconds of the film were not scripted by the GPT-3 generator, but once the green dot in the upper right-hand corner goes, the rest of it is a script. So it's about 3 minutes, totally worth the watch, totally indicates and highlights how, you know, this could totally take away a screenwriter's job in the next 5 years. Give it a watch.
Hi, I'm Jacob, and this is Calamity AI. The short you're about to see has been written by artificial intelligence. I wrote the first few lines of the script and fed it into the program. When you see a dot appear on your screen, it means that the script is now being written by the AI. And we present to you, Solicitor.
I'm a Jehovah's Witness.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't talk to solicitors.
But I have a great story. I was a drug dealer. Shootouts. In retrospect, it was a very dangerous job, but I loved it. And then I hit this cop car, and they chased me. I was weaving through the city, but they were so fast. And then I saw a road that led to this alley, and I figured, since I had some time, I could lose them. So I swerved. There were two women in the alley. They were arguing. I was going too fast. They didn't see me. I hit them. And the car turned over and over and over. That's the worst pain I've ever had. But they lived. I didn't. Before I died, God appeared to me and told me that if I would come here and tell you this, he would bring me back to life. I was instructed to tell you the whole story.
What's your name?
Rudy,
Do you believe in God?
I did once.
Do you want to come in?
I don't want to die.
Well, come in anyway. It's about time for us to do dinner.
That's the worst story I've ever heard. I'm really gonna die. What? What are you doing?
Don't you remember where you met me? And I'm a drug dealer. And shootouts? Shootouts are fun.
Pretty well written, right? So I feel like, yeah, if a screenwriter ever runs out of ideas and has writer's block, use the GPT-3 generator. All right, so on that note of GPT-3 being able to take some jobs or help with some jobs, Bloomberg did a report that they're estimating that about 800 million jobs are being encroached upon by robots and AI. So that's around the corner. This I thought was pretty great. I'm just going to let you watch it here. You can see how much Photoshop's new neural filters can change age, facial expression. It's really impressive. All right, so here's one where here are some nanobots that are also AI little nanobots. I'm just going to play this for maybe like a minute and a half so you can hear about the nanobots.
If you take a look at human hair, the cross section of the human hair, that's about 100 microns in diameter. So these robots are small enough that you might be able to discern a little dot on your screen or finger if these robots are crawling on it, but you wouldn't be able to resolve their features. My name is Itai Cohen. I'm a physicist at Cornell University, and my lab is interested in microscopic robotics. One thing that has always been a vision for microscopic robotics is to shrink the surgeon, right? Make the surgeon on the scale of a few cells or so. And the idea then is that if you have a microsurgeon on this scale, what would you need it to do? Well, it would need to start investigating its environment. So, for example, it could detect chemical signals or poke certain cells and test how stiff they are. And then it would have to have an algorithm on board embedded in this computer chip that would tell it how to react based on what it's measuring. And so the idea then is that if you ever wanted to get 1 million or so robots moving across a surface, investigating it, responding to what they measure, you're going to have the brains on board. And that's really what this breakthrough in this technology is going to allow us to do.
So there you have it, nanobots with AI on board. I thought that was kind of interesting. So researchers are suggesting that AI can now learn common sense from animals. The headline pretty much says it all right there, but I thought it was one to throw in. It came out this morning. This one is talking about AI and e-commerce. It sounds like there have been a lot of apps that are using AI, like Stitch Fix and Trunk Club. They're helping people to, it's helping to pair people with their outfits using AI based on their location, the weather, stuff like that. So that's kind of an interesting e-commerce trend. And then last but not least, we have PayPal will now buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency right on their app. This was huge news for cryptocurrency this week. Bitcoin shot up from like 10,000 to 13,000 all in a matter of a day, basically, when that happened. So I'm going to play this for you here quickly. So there's also some articles about how PayPal is in talks to acquire a exchange like BitGo. I'm sure there's some others that they're talking to. So that's interesting. I will continue to cover crypto at the end of each of the weekly talks, just because I do think that first you got to get money into the space. Then once the money is in the space, everything will evolve from there. And I will do a video all about AI and the blockchain so that it's clear how it's all interrelated if you're not already involved. So I hope that you enjoyed everything that I pulled together from this week that was in the news about AI, and we will come back next week and talk about what occurred in the week. Have a great day.